Welcome, everybody, to Rapid Fire! Fernando Ramirez, Gilbert Manzano. We're going to be talking a lot of NFL today, Gilbert. There are some storylines out there. Is the GOAT right, or is Alex Smith right? We'll get into that. Frank Reich getting let go. There's a lot of stuff going on, Gilbert. It's almost the back end of the NFL, and it is getting fire. So we have to talk about it on Rapid Fire. But first, Vic, the producer, is here. Vic, kick us off.
Thank you guys for having me once again. We get ready to get into week 13, so we got a lot of stuff to get into. Let's start off with some Tom Brady and Alex Smith. So is it fair or foul for Alex Smith to call out Tom Brady for his comments about today's NFL having a lot of mediocrity and doesn't see the excellence he saw in the past when he just played in the league last season?
Gilbert, fair or foul, or what do you think about Alex Smith's comments about the GOAT?
I think it's definitely fair. Alex Smith, just kind of, he tried being a little nice about it, saying, "Hey, Tom Brady, you're the GOAT, but you're absolutely wrong here," and I love it. He didn't need to say all that. I know Teddy Bruschi was saying, "Hey, you don't gotta call him the GOAT. Just say your point." And Tom Brady's on a podcast like Alex Smith on a bigger platform on ESPN, making their point. So it's okay to argue. We argue here sometimes, Fernando. But I love how Alex Smith just laid it down in front of Rex Ryan, Randy Moss, Teddy Bruschi, and saying, "Tom Brady, you were in a very mediocre division for 20 years. The AFC East was terrible. The Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills were so bad that even Rex Ryan was like, hey, that's a cheap shot because I coached the Jets and the Bills, but I can't blame you there, Alex Smith." So, I think I saw Michael Parsons right now agree with Tom Brady. I don't get where he's coming with this mediocre thing. Maybe because a lot of bad quarterback play. Like, there's like 10 or 8 very good quarterbacks and then a lot of bad quarterback play. So maybe that could be where he's coming from. 5 or 6, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's I don't understand him because he played in an easy division. He did win a lot of games. I'm not going to take that away from him. And then also, you just played a couple of years ago, so I like those couple of points there from Alex Smith. I'm on Team Alex Smith for this one.
Foul. Alex Smith, in the words of the famous Kobe Bryant, 7. He won 7. What's his hit? So it's his fault that the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills don't know how to draft.
You're saying Brady football back then was better than football right now?
Yes, you had Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger. You had Tom Brady. You had defenses that could hit. You wouldn't get all these personal foul calls. 100%. Quarterback play used to be, you'd get out there and it was a chess match. I'm telling you, for years, I saw Stephen Cooper and Peyton Manning go at it. Stephen Cooper was a linebacker for the Chargers, and it was Peyton Manning. You'd see the way the Patriots would attack Peyton Manning. You'd see all the different levels of this. I am 100% on Tom Brady's side. I've been saying it, that it's not the same NFL. It's different, but it's not his fault. Hey, Alex Smith, guess what? You could have won a Super Bowl. You lost your job to Colin Kaepernick. Hey, you went to go play for Andy Reid. You couldn't get over the hump. Hey, guess why?
It's not about Brady versus Smith. It's about NFL as a whole.
It is because Alex Smith could not get them over the hump. Patrick Mahomes came in and won 2 Super Bowls. So, the NFL.
Brady versus Smith is about NFL better than.
It doesn't matter. Now. No, but he's attacking him for playing in the worst division. That's not Tom Brady's fault. He just took advantage of it and won 7 Super Bowls. No, and I understand, but Tom Brady's going to be the perfect one because he's seen the back era. He's seen this era. Remember, Tom Brady's played 2 different careers. He won 3 Super Bowls in one career. He won 3 Super Bowls in another, and he won 1 in that back end of his career. He's seen the way the NFL is going. He's seen the way it's trending. If anything, Tom Brady's the one that knows what is going on in the NFL. NFL play, quarterback, we've been talking about it. Vic has said it. Dan said it. You've said it. We've all said it. Quarterback play is at the lowest it's been in years. Tom Brady saw it, but Tom Brady does have something to do with all the personal fouls. If that's the way we're going with, yes, Tom Brady has a point with that because I remember he used to look at the refs and be like, throw the flag. But when we're talking about the NFL as a whole, it is a worse product today than it was back in the day.
Well, because you got to have not. I was gonna say.
I just made 3 or 4 points. I have
I
destroyed you.
was gonna make a joke,
Game,
but
set,
when
match.
you play with deflated football, it's easier to play football. There you go.
Oh
That's my
God,
point.
give me that one. Okay,
Yeah, that was a
Alex
joke.
or
There you
Aaron Rodgers overinflates the football. Everybody does that kind of stuff. I've seen the players
man.
mess with it pregame. Back
That
when we
was
used to
a
be
joke. I
allowed on
didn't
the
want to go
field.
there. It was a joke, but yeah, you got a
Back
good
when we
point.
used to be allowed on the field, we used to be
All
able
right.
to see that kind of stuff.
I love the fire from you guys. What a way to start this argument. I'm gonna go with Gilbert here just because of what he had to say. It's true. Like, Tom Brady is responsible for the play that you're seeing right now. And also, I think, as Alex Smith said, you have to give credit to the defense. The
I
defense
like
has
that point
gotten
too.
better. They've adjusted to the offense. That's also a good point by Alex Smith. All right, guys, next one. Another fair and foul for you guys. This one has to do with the Panthers owner firing Frank Reich after 11 games as the head coach. There are reports that Tepper forced the team to draft Bryce Young. So is this fair or foul?
Gilbert, fair foul, firing Frank Reich after 1 year. By the way, Urban Meyer lasted longer than he did.
Damn. Yeah, I think even Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah. So, I'm a little torn here, Fernando, because I'm really against firing head
Wow.
coaches in one season, and then but then I was okay with Josh McDaniels being fired in one season, and then the second one with Frank Wright. So I'm gonna say foul because I think David Tepper se mete. He likes to meddle. He's kind of one of those annoying owners that just gonna let you do your job. And I get it. Frank Wright was terrible as an offensive coach. He was awful. He got the star-studded coaching staff with Josh McCowns and other people that came in, and they
Thomas
fired all of them
Brown.
pretty much. So,
You know
it was
Thomas
all
Brown, don't you?
yeah. Thomas Brown from the OC of the formerly of the Rams, but now with the Panthers. But I think he's still on there. But the point is, it was all set up. I think David Tepper is frustrated that he paid for all these coaches and he traded up for the number one pick and Frank Wright wasn't producing. I get it, but Tepper, you're also the one that stripped down the roster. DJ Morgan, no 2024 first round pick because you wanted Bryce Young. And so I'm gonna say foul here because if it's reports are true that you were the one that meddled and said, "Hey, I'm this tough owner who screams f bombs in the locker room," so I'm not gonna say you're gonna have to pick Bryce Young, but when you intimidate people to force something, you get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, that's on you. And I think he fired Frank Wright because he wanted to see if he made the wrong choice or not. So you know how we saw with Matt Canada getting fired, oh, the team played better. So you want to see if he fires Reich that Bryce Young plays better. So he wanted to see if my bet was right. So that's very selfish on his part. So I'm gonna say foul for this one.
I completely agree with you.
Oh,
I say it's foul as well. No, it is like so. You made the decision to go get. He wanted Bryce Young. You want or no? They wanted Bryce. He wanted Bryce Young. You want C.J. Stroud. And so then when the decision's made, we go with your guy. It ends up not working out. So now it's the coach's fault. That's his seventh head coach. And since he took over as the owner, I believe that's his seventh head coach. Like,
no, David Tepper at 3. He fired Rivera, Matt Rule, and this
okay.
one.
Okay, so there you go. But it just to me, it's disappointing because when are the owners going to take and they're not going to, but when are they going to take ownership and say, hey, we're the ones that are effing up? There's a lot of owners that do it. Jerry Jones meddles. They don't get the stuff done. This guy's doing it. Nobody ever looks at themselves and say, you know what, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I should bring somebody in here that actually knows what they're doing. Hey, you've succeeded in business or whatever ventures you're doing, but you're not always going to succeed in the NFL. I think that's what we're seeing right now. He's just not going to succeed in the NFL. Well, as of right now, he hasn't, and now he's stuck with Bryce Young in a sense, and now no head coach. So you just literally you've just shown. Why would I want the job, honestly, if I
I
went
know,
there?
right?
You don't
Like,
have receivers. You don't have you have Adam Thielen, and he's had an okay season, but you really don't have a future there if you really look at it. Like, why would I want to go there as a head coach? So I'm definitely interested to see who's going to take the job, but definitely 100% foul 1 year into this guy's career. I think it was like a 5 or 6 year contract, so he's going to have to pay Frank Reich up the wazoo. So when I saw Frank Reich said, I think this is the end of the road for me, yeah, no crap. I'd believe that too. I would sit on that money and just hang out until you're done depositing my checks in my account.
Yeah, you guys both made some great points, but I'm going with Fernando on this one just because, as you said, these guys are wealthy in other businesses, and just because you do that in other doesn't mean that you should meddle in NFL team. I get this is your little playground and you want to be able to play with your toys, but and also Frank Wright, this is the second straight year he's gotten fired midseason. He got fired by the Colts midseason, and then now he gets fired midseason by the Panthers. So point to you, Fernando. 1-1. Next one, Deron Bland broke the NFL season record for pick sixes in a season on Thanksgiving against the Commander with his fifth this season. We still have more than 5 weeks to go in the season. Is he now the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year? I'll start off with Fernando on this one.
I'm gonna say yes, just because his team is winning. Myles Garrett, they're starting to kind of lose ground a little bit. I don't think I think the Steelers are okay, but I wouldn't give it to TJ Watt. I think this guy broke an NFL record. I think he's dangerous right now. They needed something after they lost Diggs. So I do believe that he's a front runner for the Defensive Player of the Year, especially with what he's doing right now. And hey, there's still 5 or 6 games left for the Cowboys. He could still do a lot of damage. And guess what? He's playing Geno Smith this week. So a lot more damage could be done come this week. But yeah, right now I'd say he's the defensive he's in contention for the Defensive Player of the Year. Gilbert?
So it's my turn now. I wanted to say Deron Bland, but I'm gonna try to disagree here, Fernando. But I do like your points, and I do like Bland because 5 pick sixes are pretty cool to see. But when he got that pick six on Thanksgiving Day in a blowout, I was so excited to see him. That's pretty cool. He's breaking history. But you know what? If Myles Garrett
You just wanted a blowout.
yeah, I did. Commanders are just done. Get them out of here. Get them out of my life, okay? But Myles Garrett, I think, is clearly the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. He's dominating. Like, if you look at all the stats for the defense, like they're at a historic pace. This defense for the Browns, I think they're allowing like 240 yards per game. And I get it, they got rocked by the Broncos over the weekend. He has his arm in a sling. So if he's healthy and he finishes out the year the way he's been doing, I think it should be Myles Garrett. But I'm for you. I got to give some love to Deron Bland to get some chatter because I feel like nobody's even talking about that guy. It's like Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and to Alex Smith's point, all these very fascinating, amazing edge rushers in the NFL get all the love. But how about Deron Bland, who stepped up for Teron Diggs? I know I'm making your point here, Fernando, but Myles Garrett is still the front runner. And while Victor gives me or you the point, I'm going to walk real quick. I'll be back. Don't worry, but continue the show.
Yeah, I'm going to give that point to Gilbert because Myles Garrett doesn't have as much help as the Cowboys do with the other pass rusher, Micah Parsons, and he's got a better defense, a better defensive coordinator this season. So 2-1, Gilbert. All right, guys. Next one. It's been a rough year for football in LA with the disappointing seasons for both college and pro teams here in LA. With the Chargers at 4-7 and the Rams having an outside shot at the playoffs with their 5-6 record, which team right now is best equipped to turn things around in the next 2 seasons, guys? I'll start off with Gilbert.
Man, you threw me off by saying the next 2 seasons because I told Fernando earlier today if the Rams and the Chargers play each other, I will pick the Rams right now. But next 2 seasons, I'm looking ahead, and the biggest point here, and I'm sure Fernando will probably agree here, but you have Justin Herbert. You have the franchise quarterback, and I don't know, Fernando, who are your 5 good quarterbacks in the NFL, but I'm assuming Justin Herbert is one of them, and Stafford, who knows if he was playing in 2 years. So that point alone, they have a good starting point, but it's hard to trust the Chargers when they can't really draft well besides the first round. You can't get guys in the 4th, 3rd, or 2nd round. Les Snead does. And then also the other factor, too, I don't know about Sean McVay. Do you get Sean McVay for the next 2 years? He might be in a TV broadcast booth by next year. So just for that alone, I'll go with the Chargers.
Yeah, no, I mean, once you have the quarterback, I guess you would go Chargers, but I'll go Rams because of what you mentioned, the depth. I mean, they have depth. They have Puka Nacua. The thing is going to be build this team, and I know you hate this method, but it's going to be build this team and bring in a cheap quarterback who can do like a guy on a rookie deal or something like that. Build the team around him. That's the thing about this team. They know how to draft 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round undrafted guys. They know how to make an impact. I think they're slowly building this team correctly. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams kind of jump back into it after drafting a quarterback. But I understand your point of McVay. The thing is with the Chargers, we don't know who's going to be coaching the team. No. We don't know who's going to be coaching the team. We don't know who's going to be the general manager. We don't know any of that. But I think Rams management is better than the Chargers management, and we've seen that. They've won the Super Bowl. They've done stuff to get back in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they were back in it. But yeah, the quarterback situation and the head coaching situation would be a head scratcher for me. But I'm gonna go Rams just because of the depth and everything that they bring and what they've done this year.
I'm gonna give that point to Fernando. He is right. Like, I was gonna go with Justin Herbert, just with what Gilbert said, but at the same time, we don't know who's gonna be making these decisions. And the Chargers have had this, they've had Justin Herbert for 4 years, and they still haven't been able to get him to the playoffs. We know what the Rams, and they're gonna have all this cap space. We don't know what the Chargers are gonna do with that without all with being under the cap there. So it's going to be interesting to see which direction these two teams go. But as of for now, I'm going to go with Fernando on this one. So we're all tied up, guys, as we go to the fifth question. Last week, I asked you guys who gets the last two playoff spots in the NFC. This week, it's the AFC's turn. Which two teams get the 6th and 7th seed? I'll start off with Fernando on this one.
Oh shoot. I can't give it to the Browns just because I just think without Deshaun Watson, I mean even with a decent quarterback, I just don't think that they can get in there. I'm gonna go out on a limb. F it. I'll say Colts and F it. And the Buffalo Bills. I'll say the Buffalo Bill. I think the Bills get the sixth. No, the Bills get the 7th, and the Colts get the 6th. And I think we'll see Josh Allen in Baltimore facing off against the Ravens. So that'll be interesting. But as of right now, obviously. But yeah, I'll go Bills, and I'll go. Who's the other one that I said? And Colts. No, yeah, and Colts. Yeah. Go ahead, Gilbert.
For my two teams to make it in the AFC, I can't fade my Texans. I know they lost to the Jaguars, but CJ Stroud played a great game, and then they could have won that game. I think maybe tied at least because of the missed field goal.
Texans.
But yeah, I'm going with my Texans right there after I left the Colts, who are actually doing not too bad. But you know what? The team that I keep surprising me and I keep doubting them, but they play well defensively, and it's the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to go all the way. That way we could tell a Seahawks fan that they lost a trade to Russell Wilson and the Broncos because you have Geno Smith, and I hate mediocre quarterbacks, as you mentioned earlier in the show. But Broncos, Texans find the way in. I do want to see the Bills make it in, but when they play, the Cowboys and the Chiefs and the Dolphins, even the Patriots and the Chargers could be difficult for them. They're inconsistent. I don't think they're going to make it. And then the Colts, I keep underestimating them, so maybe they'll do something.
Oh man, you guys made it hard for me here because I really like the Texans pick and I like the Bills pick. So it's down to either do I want to see the Broncos in the playoffs or do I want to see the Colts?
The Broncos.
And yeah, this one's hard, so I'm gonna give you guys a tie because I don't know. I have one more question and I want to ask it, so we'll go for this bonus question tied up, guys. So, which team are you guys most surprised that would be in the playoffs this season if the season ended today? The Colts, Vikings, or Falcons?
Who goes first?
I'll have Gilbert start it off.
Colts, Vikings, or Falcons? Don't even ask about the NFC South. This is a waste of a pick, so I'm not gonna even go there. Colts, Vikings, and was there one more? Or am I blanking here?
No, it's Colts. Which one are you most surprised is in the playoff picture right now? The Colts, Vikings, or Falcons?
I feel like Viking story has been done. They've been in the race for a minute, so I'm gonna go with the Colts. I'm sure Fernando will probably take mine, but just to give a shout out to Shane Steichen. When this team lost 3 straight, I'm like, that's it. That's the end of them. We're done. Gardner Minshew usually goes up and down and get out of my life. But Gardner Minshew's playing well again. I know they beat the Panthers and the Patriots and somebody else that's terrible, but they're handling business. When you
beat the Ravens,
before that. So when you get dealt a crappy hand and you have your backup quarterback and you're winning games, I don't care about who you're playing and what opponent it is. So you're stacking the wins. You're a good coach. A lot of coaches out there make excuses about injuries and hey, we're performing here. Not Shane Steichen. He doesn't take the excuses and then he's making them 6-5. I'm actually when I looked up at the standing, I'm like 6-5 coach. Whoa, surprise.
No, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I know everybody's saying, "Oh, the story, this, that," but they just lost to the Broncos. I think they're on their bye week. No, actually, no. They play Monday Night Football tonight. Whatever. But Justin Jefferson will soon come back. We'll see what happens there. I think the Josh Dobbs stuff, if he gets the Vikings in the playoffs, I think that's going to be very impressive. Kevin O'Connell's done a great job over there with that team, because that team could have fallen after they lost to the Chargers in week 3, and he picked them up. Then you lose Kirk Cousins, and it's like, oh, woe is me. Like, let's just settle for a draft pick. No, let's get this crap going. Let's turn this around, and now they're in playoff contention. So you have to admire what Kevin O'Connell's done. And obviously the whole Josh Dobbs. I think Kevin O'Connell and Josh Dobbs kind of deserve each other, because that's kind of the way both of them have kind of come up. So, but I think the Vikings thing is incredible. I think if they make the playoffs, it's going to be very, very impressive.
Yeah, that's great points by both of you guys. Both teams have been a surprise with both of the teams that you guys picked, but I'm going to go with Fernando here just because of the Vikings. They've been a great story. And then they could have just, as you said, they could have sold the farm and said, you know what, F it, we're just going to, move on. And then last season, after everybody called them frauds, to be able to come back and be this team, I think the Vikings are the most surprising team. So congratulations, Fernando, on this win, because that was a great point by you there.
Appreciate it. CM Punk. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Let's enjoy the rest of our evening. And don't forget to check out Compas on the Beat this week. Dan and Dago, Vic, the producer, Gilbert, and myself will be back. Dan has a lot to talk about, so I hope everybody's ready for that one. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but he just told me, let them know that I have something to talk about. So it'll be very interesting to see what he has to say. But yeah, I know. But we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for checking it out. Have a good one.